Hi, my name's Lisa and I'm 37 years old. I'm writing this because the past year has been very difficult for me and my husband, Jax. We've come a long way since this incident, and I just want to share this story to help anyone who might find themselves in a similar position. Let me first tell you about how I met my lovely husband. It all started in the most unexpected of places, a hospital. Jax and I found ourselves spending a long night outside the emergency room, filled with worry and unable to leave. Jax was there because his sister had a serious car accident, while my mother suffered a heart attack. In that shared space of worry and uncertainty, we found comfort in each other's presence. We talked easily, discovering common ground and genuine understanding. Realizing that it would be a while before we received any news from the doctors, we decided to take a break and get some coffee at the hospital cafeteria. Little did we know that these chance encounters would change our lives forever. As the night turned into dawn, we exchanged numbers before reluctantly parting ways. While my mother's condition stabilized and she began her recovery, Jax's sister faced a more difficult journey. The accident left her with severe spinal cord and brain injuries, and she was paralyzed from the waist down. Jax was devastated, torn between relief that his sister survived and sadness for the challenges she would now face. Over the following months, Jax and I stayed in touch, supporting each other emotionally during our family members' recoveries. Our conversations gradually shifted, allowing us to share our hopes, dreams, and fears. In one of these heartfelt exchanges, Jax mustered the courage to ask me out for a coffee, a meaningful reminder of where our connection first blossomed. Our love grew quickly, fueled by the foundation we built during our darkest moments. We had witnessed each other's vulnerabilities and offered unwavering support. It didn't take long for us to realize that we had found something truly special. After 2 years of dating, Jax proposed to me. With overwhelming joy, I happily said yes. Our wedding was a small and intimate celebration, honoring the love that emerged from our shared hardships. At that time, Jax's sister needed specialized care, and he, being the closest family member, took on the responsibility. However, he also needed full-time work to manage the mounting bills. Worried that I would be burdened with financial obligations, Jax hesitated to ask for my help. One day, I sat him down and reassured him that we were a team, facing life's challenges together. "Babe, I need to talk to you about something important. Please have a seat." "What's on your mind? You seem serious. Is everything okay?" "In a way, no. I've been seeing you struggle for a while now. You know you can ask me for help, right?" "Of course I know that. I don't want to burden you with my problems, you know." "My darling, we're a team. I want you to always remember that. We face life's challenges together, and there's no his or hers in our relationship, only ours. I want to support you and your sister in every way I can." "That means a lot to me, baby. You've been incredible throughout all of this. I don't know what I would do without you." "That's exactly why I wanted to talk to you. I've been thinking about Abby's care and how it's affecting your work. What if we consider placing her in a nursing home? And before you ask where, I know of a good one where my Nana was genuinely happy. She even preferred it to live with family." "I don't know. I mean, it's a big and risky decision to make." "I understand, but think about it. This would allow you to find a better paying job so we can make sure that Abby receives the care she deserves. We can visit her regularly and still be there for her, but it would relieve some of the burden on your shoulders." "You're right. It's a tough choice, but I trust your judgment." "I'm glad you're finally letting me help you. Believe me, things get easier when you get to share your burdens with someone. I mean, that's how we found each other, isn't it?" How could I ever forget about that? I love you so much. Thanks for sticking by my side. Shush. No need for thanks. You know I'll always be by your side. I love you too, baby. Jax trusted me, and we found a nursing home for Abby. Over the next few months, Jax got a better paying job and visited his sister almost every day. Abby's recovery progressed surprisingly well, despite being paralyzed. She started moving around the nursing home in her wheelchair, determined to explore. The nursing home allowed residents to go out with their registered family members, so I sent Abby an allowance each month to help her enjoy herself. Jax's mom, Greta, heard about his dedication to Abby's well-being and the effort he put into caring for her. Greta came to our home, tears in her eyes, to express how proud she was of her son. Mom, why are you crying? What's the matter? I just want you to know how proud I am of you, Jax. You've shown such strength and compassion in taking care of Abby. I couldn't be prouder to have raised such a wonderful son. Gee, thanks, Mom. I'm just doing what I can for Abby. It's not easy, but I love her and want to make sure she's okay. You've done more than enough, my dear. I don't want you to shoulder this burden alone. I want to take over and visit Abby more frequently. You need to focus on your work and your own life. Abby will be well taken care of. Well, it's not like I've been doing it alone. Lisa has been by my side, supporting us every step of the way. We're a team, and we're both committed to Abby's well-being. Oh, I know Lisa has been there, but you've been doing so much, Jax. It's time for you to prioritize your own life and career. Abby will be in good hands, trust me. Okay, Mom. If you're sure about this, then I'll agree. But I want you to know that it's been my pleasure to care for Abby, and Lisa and I will always be here for her, no matter what. I appreciate your dedication, Jax, but it's time for you and Lisa to focus on your futures. Trust me, it's for the best. All right, Mom. If you believe this is the right thing, then I'll go along with it. Just promise me you'll take good care of Abby. I promise, Jax. You can count on me. Now go and focus on your work. Let me handle Abby's care. I found Greta's sudden concern for Abby a bit strange, but I kept quiet because I knew this moment was important to Jax, and the next year Jax focused on his job and got a raise. I also got a raise, allowing us to increase Abby's monthly allowance. Greta kept her promise, but there was a catch. She always insisted we stay busy with work and reminded us how happy Abby was with more money. She scolded us if we wanted to visit Abby and claimed she knew what was best for her. Greta made us call her before visiting Abby so she controlled our access to her. As a result, we saw Abby less and less, but we continued sending her the allowance every month. I felt uneasy about the situation. Greta's sudden possessiveness and controlling behavior worried me. It seemed like she always had excuses when Jax needed help with Abby in the past. However, I didn't say anything because I knew how much Abby meant to Jax. Despite the challenges, Jax and I stayed committed to supporting Abby. We kept our promise to provide financial assistance, even though we couldn't be with her as much. We believed Abby deserved the best care and happiness, and we wanted her to have the means to enjoy life to the fullest. One day, Jax was missing Abby a little too much. We had both been very wrapped up with work and hadn't had any time to go visit her. We decided to go visit her on a whim. We didn't tell Greta because we didn't want to hear her nag or berate us. Before we got to the nursing home, Jax and I stopped by the grocery store to buy Abby all her favorite snacks. We were both super excited to see her and spend some quality time with her. I even brought along my Nintendo Switch so she could play around with it. We walked in and immediately started looking around for Abby, but we couldn't see her anywhere. I thought she was probably off to a doctor's appointment or was probably in the garden. We found Abby's attending nurse, Miss Smith. She looked at us in confusion. We walked up to her and asked her where Abby was because we couldn't see her anywhere. This time, Miss Smith looked at us in confusion. "Excuse me, could you please tell us where Abby is? We're looking for her." "I'm sorry, but aren't you aware of what happened?" "No, we don't know. Please tell us." "What happened? Is Abby okay?" I tried to contact Greta as she insisted on being the point of contact for all information about Abby, but she never answered my calls. "Please, just tell us what happened. Is Abby all right?" "I'm so sorry to break this news to you. While administering a new medication for Abby, her body had a severe reaction. She went into shock, and despite our efforts, she passed away." "What? When did this happen?" "It happened 2 months ago." 2 months ago? How? How is that possible? Why were we not informed?" "I apologize for the oversight. We were trying to reach Greta as per her request, but it seems she never received our calls." "This is unbelievable. We should have known. We should have been there for Abby." "Thank you for telling us, Miss Smith. We'll need some time to process this. Can you please give us some privacy?" "Of course. Take all the time you need. I'll be here if you have any questions or need assistance. Again, I'm truly sorry for your loss." I could feel Jax's entire world crumble, and I was in the same boat. While Abby may not have been my own sister, I treated her like it. I knew how much she meant to Jax, and so I put in a lot of effort to get to know her and befriend her. Over time, I grew to absolutely adore her. We were like sisters. Abby had been so full of life, regardless of her circumstances. Jax was a sobbing mess while I simply couldn't bring myself to cry. I felt so numb. I couldn't believe that Abby was gone. I felt so guilty that she had suffered all alone. I felt so guilty that I never took the time to meet her. Would things have been different if I visited? I knew that Jax was feeling the same way that I was. I knew that we couldn't keep standing there and crying, so I gently guided Jax back out of the facility. The ride back home was silent as grief enveloped our souls. When we got home, we both collapsed in tears in each other's arms. We cried and cried for what felt like hours. Jax was furious that we didn't even get to bid his sister goodbye. I felt the same way. Besides, I was sad that Abby probably never got to have a funeral either. At that moment, I had a sudden realization that hit me hard. Greta was supposed to take care of Abby, but something wasn't right. I asked Jax if he had heard anything from his mother, but he hadn't. As we put the pieces together, anger boiled inside us. We realized how carefully Greta had manipulated us, stealing our connection to Abby and taking advantage of our kindness. The thought that she had probably taken all of Abby's allowance for herself, leaving Abby with nothing, fueled our anger even more. Jax was ready to confront his mother, but I managed to think a bit more clearly. "Babe, I know you're furious and want to confront your mother, but let's think this through." "I don't want to think things through. I want to ask Mom why she did this. What did she gain from doing this to Abby?" "I want to know the same thing, but you know that she'll deny everything we say or find a way to blame us for everything. Look, the day we usually give Abby her allowance is coming up soon. What if Greta shows up at our door, demanding the money?" "You think she would dare to show her face here after everything she's done?" "It's possible, babe. If she does, it will be her inadvertent confession to us. We can use that as evidence." "Yeah, and then we can expose her evil, scheming ways to everyone." "Exposing her in front of everyone might not be the best course of action right now. Let's gather proof and take legal action instead, yeah?" "Fine, you're right. We need to approach this strategically. We'll follow your plan and gather the evidence we need. It's time for Mom to face the consequences of her actions." We both took a week off from work. Returning to the nursing home, we collected Abby's death certificate as evidence. We also consulted a lawyer to charge Greta with robbing a disabled person. Just as I predicted, Greta came knocking on our door demanding her daughter's allowance. "Where is Abby's allowance? I've been waiting for it." "Why should we be sending Abby's money to you, Mom? What have you done for her?" "What have I done? I mean, what haven't I done for that insolent child?" "Hold on a minute, Greta. How exactly have you been taking care of Abby?" "I buy her all the food she wants, and I cater to her every whim. I even make sure she takes her medication when I visit her." "That's great. When was the last time you saw Abby?" "I just visited her yesterday. I'm only here because she's worried you haven't sent her allowance." "How dare you lie to my face?" "I'm not lying." "What do you mean? How dare you accuse me of lying? You're just as ungrateful as Abby." Without hesitation, I handed Greta Abby's death certificate, my disgust evident in my eyes as she stared at it in shock. Greta stumbled, attempting to apologize. "What? No, this can't be true. My baby girl. I'm so sorry, Jax. I'm so sorry." "Save your apologies, Mom. You've done nothing but insult Abby since you got here. You're disgusting. We've already taken legal action against you for your crimes. We have evidence of your neglect. See you in court." "Please, Jax, don't do this. I'm hurting just like you. Please." "Stop it. Leave our house and never speak to us again. We want nothing more to do with you." "Please don't take me to court. I'm sorry." "It's too late for apologies. You made your choices, and now you'll have to face the consequences of your actions." Little did Greta know, Jax and I had taken precautions and recorded our conversation with her. This additional evidence worked in our favor, and the court ruled that Greta had to repay us, including interest rates similar to those charged by banks. She would be making monthly payments to us for the next few years. Jax went a step further and shared the recording with the rest of his extended family. As a result, Greta faced exclusion from her own family. Jax and I grieved together for a long time. The pain ran deep, but slowly we started to heal. We made a firm decision to cut off all contact with Greta. The only reminder of her existence was the monthly payments she made to repay us. We focused on healing ourselves and rebuilding our lives. In the end, justice prevailed, and our love for Abby remained unwavering. We honored her memory by treasuring the time we had with her and by showing love and care to others in need. Our journey had been filled with challenges and heartache, but it also taught us the power of resilience and the strength of our bond. Jax and I began a journey of healing, reclaiming our lives from the wreckage of betrayal. We held on to the precious memories of Abby, treasuring the love and joy she brought to us. Although the pain lingered, we found comfort in the fact that we fought for justice and honored Abby's spirit.